Morning. Last night was our first time boondocking. We're not too far off the road, as you can see over there, but next to a lake. One thing you forget about next to water, well, some people might forget about, like me, till you get here, are all the mosquitoes. And then this morning at 4 o'clock, the ducks and the geese were nice and loud. I have some footage of that. It was quite noisy, but we did have some friends over there. You can see there's some other people over there boondocking as well. So we weren't 100% alone, but just a reminder that we don't have a onboard generator or solar yet, but it's definitely things we're gonna need if we're gonna continue doing this kind of thing, because we don't have any, like, our outlets don't work. I mean, our lights work, and I was able to take a shower this morning, but I wasn't able to use my hair dryer. Little things like that are like everyday things that you kind of forget about. But anyway, we weren't able to do that, but otherwise it was a decent experience, aside from the mosquitoes and the noise and the lack of being able to use the things that you use every day. Other than that, it was fantastic. So we are going to be boondocking again tonight, and I assume somewhere outside of Spokane, but not 100% sure. But we will check in later and let you know. We have one little issue this morning, didn't we, honey?
Yeah, we did. So the issue is that this fuse, it's a 30 amp fuse, is all corroded right here. That's what all the white stuff is on it. And that fuse goes right down here. And so I actually had a new fuse.
Luckily.
And some dielectric grease. Now the dielectric grease will help it from corroding. What that fuse controls is, the fuse actually controls the tongue jack.
Yeah, so we had put that down last night just to kind of help stabilize us?
Correct.
Okay, even though we didn't disconnect from the truck.
Right, we didn't disconnect, but it just takes some of the weight off the truck and the airbags.
Gotcha. Okay, cool, thanks, babe.
All right, guys.
So as I said earlier, last night was our first time boondocking.
Yep,
right?
First time.
And I think we learned some important lessons. For one, I think most importantly, it's location.
Yeah, that's definitely a must, considering we're right by the water. We had a lot of mosquitoes last night.
I know you can't tell, but his window is just plastered with them on that side. And there's quite a few on my side too. So mosquitoes are definitely an issue. And for me this morning, I know it didn't wake you up, babe, but,
nope.
But it definitely woke me up at 4 a.m. The noise that the geese and the ducks, Mother Nature doesn't follow any type of noise ordinance. So unfortunately that woke me up, but what can you do? It was free, right? So that works. Any other lessons that you learned from last night?
Find a more level spot, and
I would agree.
Put down the stabilizer jacks.
Yeah, because it was definitely rocky because we didn't disconnect from the truck last night. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, we were kind of leaning to one side, so we had to like prop the doors open and stuff, but that's all right. No big deal. But I think that's all we learned so far, right? We're going to do it again tonight.
Correct.
And I'm sure we'll learn another valuable lesson tonight.
Yep. We either find some land tonight or find a Walmart or something tonight. So
yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
So we are currently at a rest stop on the side of the road. You can see over there is the rest station, like you would stop for the restroom or whatever. We're here to dump our tank, our gray tank, and then we also needed to fill up on some potable water because we only filled up about 2/3 full, and last night we ended up using it all, with flushing toilets, and then this morning with our 2 showers and breakfast and everything, brushing teeth and all that. So that ended up using about 2/3 of a tank. So we are just going to be able to fill up here and use it for tonight's adventure. We are hooking up our sewer hose, and we are just going to dump our gray tank. Is that right, honey?
Yep, just the gray today.
Just the gray today. And again, we're just at the side of the road at a rest stop. You can see over there.
So unlike when you're at an RV park, you might need to help it down there. Now, that was only gray water.
Yeah, thank goodness that was only gray.
Yep. So when we're at an RV park, we always have our
stand,
you know,
right?
our slope sewer stand.
Yeah.
But it's just not worth bringing it out to dump the gray tank.
Yeah. Sorry about the noise. Like I said, we're at a rest stop, so we are literally right off the highway. So he's just helping it along since we don't have our stand.
Well, there's just no point in bringing it out at this point.
Right. Just for a few minutes.
Now, if that was black water, not gray water, you would want to take some of this water and wash it down. And I'm going to do that anyways, just
to be sure.
Yep, just to be nice. Plus, you know, the hose does get black water through it as well.
Right. So that's interesting. Now, we've never done it here at the dump station. So it's just got some water or something, honey, is that right?
Yeah, it's just non-potable water.
Oh, okay.
So with it being non-potable, that means that it's just not treated for
water.
drinking water.
Yeah.
And hey, when you're at these rest stops, or that for that matter, anywhere, don't leave your trash around either.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
That's just someone's broken sewer hose.
Oh, is that what that is? I thought it was a spring.
That's what I thought at first too.
So that thing must have been here a while, huh?
Maybe.
Or they just had a really old hose.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to shut your valve first. And give it a second for any of that water to finish running down into the hose. While you give it a second to do that, you can work on getting any more of the water out of the hose. You'll notice I'm wearing gloves. So when we're dumping at an RV park or a campground or wherever we're parked at, I actually never wear gloves. And the reason is because I normally do not touch my valve handles with gloves on them. So I'll sanitize these valve handles before we hook up at an RV park again. And by doing that, I don't have to put gloves on every time by keeping them clean. The sewer hose, on the other hand, I always touch with gloves on.
Right, yeah, you.
All right, so that should be drained through enough. You notice there is a little bit of drips there. That does happen. And I always just slope it down, make sure I catch anything that falls out. Put it back on. Drain your hose. Alright, give me a second to put this away and I'll wash that down.
Because our hose just fits in the bumper there, right, honey?
Yeah, so we actually have 3 hoses. Only 2 of them fit in the bumper. At some point I'm gonna strap a 4-inch pipe to the back here.
Currently though, it's just in a like a plastic container with a lid on it.
Exactly. So because I don't know if anybody else has touched this hose,
yeah,
with gloves on, I'm going to obviously do it with gloves on, but touch it with the back of my hand. And there we go. Just clean up the whole area.
All right. And then does it turn off by itself? Yes, 40
Turns
seconds.
off by itself after 40 seconds.
Gotcha.
So, the great thing is, this will actually drain down in there.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, yep, I can hear it.
And then you want to take this, just put it back on there. Well, the drain's actually right there from that hose.
Oh, okay. Yep, sure is.
I just want to put that back on there so it holds it down.
All right, there we go. And now we're gonna go get some fresh water, right?
Correct.
So here we are at the fresh water filling station. He just turned it on, similar to the other one. You just push it for a few seconds and it turns on, just to kind of flush it out a little bit before connecting. So right now we are gonna fill up our freshwater tank so that we have water for tonight.
So even though this is potable water, I'm still putting my water filter on. And then I always keep a 90-degree elbow on it. Obviously the flexible connection that comes with these Camco filters. And then I actually bought this at Camping World, and all it is a fill valve. The nice thing about it is it actually has an on and off button right here, or on and off valve right here as well. So you always want to make sure that you fill with your pressure gauge on. Honey, can you hold that, please?
Of course. Fill with your pressure gauge on.
Yeah, because you don't know what the pressure is coming out of this line here.
Okay.
And even though it's not going in really into the plumbing pipes, it is still going into the pipe between the fill port on the outside of the trailer here and your tank.
And so we're going into the freshwater connection there.
And those plumbing lines there are only rated, at least in our trailer, for 50 to 60 PSI. So the water is only set to run for 40 seconds. Obviously it's got to flush a lot of air out of the line first.
Gotcha.
Our tank actually has a little vent right here that pushes the air out of the tank, out of the fresh water tank.
There it is, yep.
So I can actually feel the air coming out of there right now.
Oh, yep, okay, I see now that it's filling up pretty good. I was gonna say, that's gonna take forever. It was only dribbling in there.
Okay, so that was the first 40 seconds. Obviously, they have a 40-second timer on it, so people don't just come here and let it run forever.
Huh. I think it might be a little more pleasant if it were maybe a minute.
Or 3.
Or 3 minutes, yeah.
Because it took about 10 minutes yesterday to fill this tank up. Now, obviously, we're not going to spend 10 minutes here to fill the tank up, but I will let this go for a little bit and then go inside and check it and see where it's at.
I was just gonna ask, so how do we know when it's full?
You go inside and press the button on your control panel. At
Oh.
least for ours, you press the button on your control panel, which is right by our main door.
Right.
And that'll show you on ours whether it's empty, 1/3, 2/3, or full. Yesterday I only filled it to 2/3. I'd like to get it full, but it depends on how many times I have to press this button today. Plus, that is a lot of weight going back onto the truck as well. And I am very conscious about the amount of weight I put on my truck. At least I'm currently getting a shower here because
It's kind of hard to see.
they
but
obviously
yeah.
don't have a very good connection there. And I do have an O-ring washer on my pressure gauge.
What does that do?
So the O-ring washer is supposed to create a watertight seal, but
Ah, not so watertight there,
the
huh?
piece you're connecting into also has to be watertight as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think half the water's going in and half of it's going out.
All right, honey, after this one, I'm gonna have you go inside and check it and see where it's at.
Sounds good. Okay, so here I am inside. Just gonna check the fresh water. Oh, look at that. It says it's 2/3 full already. We only pushed that thing about 4 times, so not too bad. All right. Another few times, we should be full. Just a reminder that anytime you stop and you take out your your handle and you open your door and you let down your stairs, just make sure that you aren't in a hurry and that you put everything back. You can see Kurt back there putting everything back. We'll make sure that that's locked up, and make sure your handle's in. I've seen many people take off from a rest stop with their handle out, even their stairs out. So just be mindful. Maybe do a once over. We usually go around the trailer at least once to kind of double check that everything is closed, locked, secure, your awning's back, things like that. So just a quick little reminder. Okay, so we are filled with water for the most part.
Yep.
And we didn't want to overflow it, so it said 2/3, but it was flashing at the F, so it was mostly full. So I think that'll do us at least for tonight. So another quick little reminder, don't leave behind how much was this hose, honey?
$170, and then the pressure regulator on Amazon was about 40.
Yeah.
So this is $200 right here.
Yeah, so don't leave that behind. It's good for, the cold weather, and as well as everything else. We just use the same one all year.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure people are thinking, why are we using a $200 hose?
Yeah.
Well, because all of us RVers are worried about weight.
Right.
And I carry a black tank flush hose. I carry a spare short 25-foot hose just to use for something, and a 50-foot heated water hose. Why carry a second water hose when I can only carry one? I don't have to plug it in and use it all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what that little plug was there for if you don't have one.
So
all right, so we
guys,
are filled up and ready to roll.
We'll see you tonight.
See you tonight. So today we came to downtown Spokane, and as you can see, we are actually parked on the street here. There's these little meters. I don't know if you can see that or not. Those little meters there. We opted to park here mainly because this street, which is Dean Street, right next to the Spokane Civic Theater there, we opted to park here mainly because it was a heck of a lot cheaper than parking in the lot, which is right there, which belongs to this Spokane Arena, which is right over there. The arena parking over here, you can go ahead and park in there, but they charge you $35 for an RV, and then they charge you $70 if you want to stay there overnight, which I can't see anybody paying that, considering most RV parks aren't even that. So anyhow, that's how we ended up here. We just kind of lucked out. It was, I think, even on all 3 meters, putting in 3 hours, it cost us like $4 or something like that. So anyhow, that's where we were, and then we just walked down the street here. We took a left down there on a street that starts with a C, Catalda or something. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Howard down there. And then we just walked down and then actually past that purple thing down there over to the Riverwalk area and across. And you can see the Spokane Falls, and you can see, we went to the Mobius Science Center, which, by the way, don't waste your money. We actually only went there because we have a OMSI membership, which is an Oregon Museum of Science and Industry in the Portland area. We have a membership there, and I highly recommend, if you live in an area with one of those science centers that has the reciprocal membership, that you do the same thing, because we get into nationwide museums for free. So, and it's for the whole family, which is very cool. So anyhow, this is where we ended up. Again, this is Dean Street. It's right across the falls from where everything is downtown, the River Walk, or River Street, River Walk area. So that's where we ended up. All right, we'll let you know where we end up this evening. We're just kind of playing it by ear today.
Oh man. Oh. I didn't even see that.
Oh, I didn't see him either.
There's snakes.
Snake up there.
He's like, help me. Get me out of here.
That's exactly what he's doing. Connor, look at this guy.
Oh.
Does it say he's a gecko? Yep.
Yeah, there's two of them.
There he is. Where?
Right there.
Oh, I didn't even see him. Man, he's good at hide and seek. Even out in the open. Here's some of our brethren carrying their houses on their backs. Man, there's a lot of these guys.
Oh man, it's like a boat.
Hey, buddy. Daddy's over there playing. And here's Connor playing in the suds.
One.
No.
Oh, I'm definitely. Oh man.
Am I winning? Oh man. Congratulations. Oh, Connor. I think you're winning.
I won.
Very nice.
Oh, it was still. Okay, now it's mine. Oh, I see.
That's kind of hard to do.
I see what you need to do.
Whoa.
Oh, I did it for a second.
All over, make sure it's dry, and then you can pet her with 1 or 2 fingers, and just avoid her eyes for me, okay?
So earlier she was kind of scratching at the...
That's why I took her out. She looked a little, like she wanted to come out and play a little bit.
Oh,
She actually
okay.
loves being handled.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so we try and bring her out at least a few times a week to get some pets. Huh.
And what do bearded dragons eat?
So we feed her salad and also crickets.
I definitely know that.
So she's
Yeah.
very healthy. Lots of protein.
She mostly makes a mess with her salad.
Oh, really?
And it's a little bit of a trap for the crickets because the crickets will go to it.
Oh, yeah. What's it feel like, Connor?
Connor still looks like you.
What's it
And
feel
then-
like?
Scaly.
Scaly. Yeah.
Try touching her,
Yeah, that's what.
the spikes on the side there. They're not very sharp, are they?
Yeah, they're not.
It's mostly for show. It's just saying, I wouldn't be fun to eat.
Ah.
And then if you look right here on the top of her head, do you see that little dot right there?
Yeah.
That is a partial eye. So it's not fully developed like her big eyes or like ours, but it can see shadows. So she can see my hand, just the shadow of it. Because in the wild, what eats bearded dragons are birds of prey.
Oh. So that way they can kind of see them coming. Huh?
So she can scurry under something, dig under the sand or something like that.
What's her name?
Clementine.
Clementine. That's funny.
Yeah. When she gets mad or annoyed or scared or any negative emotion, really, her beard. Oh, you're listening to me? Underneath her chin here, this whole part
Yeah.
gets dark and it inflates. And so we can tell when she's annoyed with us and would like some attention because her beard goes a little bit dark.
So she's the original bearded lady.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Huh.
Welcome to Idaho.
Yep.
So we drove through downtown Coeur d'Alene with our trailer, and we didn't have any problems driving through there. I think we would have had some problems if we would have wanted to park somewhere. We probably would have had to park pretty far away. So I'd probably recommend finding an RV park in the area, detaching, and then just driving your vehicle back into town. One of the things that this video does not show you was the absolutely gorgeous waterfront. There was tons of green space and boat launches, and it was such a beautiful day that there were tons of people out there.
So tonight, our little boondocking area is going to be at Cabela's. In their parking lot, they actually have RV parking. I don't know if you can see us way over there in the distance, but they actually have some RV spots. They have some kennels out there. They even have a little corral for horses. So that's pretty cool. And we called and we got permission. So here we are at Cabela's, just kind of checking out the store before we hit the hay for the night. So apparently this store here in Post Falls, Idaho, has a shooting gallery. So, of course, we're gonna have to shoot a few things.
I'm going to take this one right here.
What are you going for? The rabbit?
Actually, you know what? Go for the campfire.
Campfire, there you go.
This.
Oh man,
Yeah.
bummer. But that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we need to come here again. This
Yeah.
is fun.
That was neat where the bear was hiding behind the trees there.
Yeah, that's actually real water.
Very cool. This is very
I
cool.
actually hit the easiest one right there.
Which one did
Where
you
the
hit?
snakes
The
is
snake and it
coming.
moved forward? I did
Yeah.
that too. And I got the bunny across the log and the
Oh, I see
various
a
little
fox.
jugs down
I
here.
see a fox.
Yeah, oh, I do too. I don't think I hit him. Oh, I
you
didn't
did
see there
hit
was a
the
buck over
saw.
there.
You did shoot the saw, right?
I did. I hit the saw and the banjo. Okay, so last night was night number 2 boondocking, and we stayed at Cabela's, and it was actually really nice. We were in Post Falls, Idaho. Excuse me. And that store is really neat. It's got not only just the taxidermied animals, you know, that kids and adults all love to look at, but it's also got a aquarium, which I think most of them do, but it's got a cafe and a
Shooting gallery.
and a shooting gallery, yeah, which we took advantage of last night, which was really cool. That was a lot of fun. I think, what was it, $1 for how many tokens, honey?
It was $5 got us 10 games. So what's that? 50 cents a game.
There you go. And it, yeah, so it took tokens, and it had a token machine right there. So it was really neat. Little things popped up and moved and everything. So anyway, so Cabela's was actually nice. Even though there was a train that went by a few times, you know, it didn't bother us too bad. So anyway, highly recommend it. And we also learned that putting down our leveling jacks helped tremendously. So we recommend that as well. I mean, it only takes a few seconds to put them down, and ours are manual. So there you go. Okay, so now that we've hit up Dutch Brothers in Post Falls, right, babe?
Yep, Post Falls.
Which was, the people were very nice. I've never been to a Dutch Brothers where I haven't seen nice people. So
That's for sure.
Anyway, so we went to Dutch Brothers and grabbed our coffee, and that Dutch Brothers there, by the way, has street parking, so we were able to just kind of pull up, even with the trailer, you know, and just jump out and go up to the window, and then we jumped right back in and kind of made our way back over to the street. So no issues there. And we are headed back to home base right now, which is currently in Washington State, and it'll take us about, well, so Google Maps says 4.5 hours, so towing the trailer, it'll probably be more like
6 or 7.
Yeah, probably 6. So anyways, that's where we're headed.
Hi, my name is Connor, and you should check out the travelinglessons.com. Bye!